V, what you doing, Dr. V?
I'm doing a nice live stream with you, Mark.
Ready to love,
Ready
babe.
for Sunday.
You ready for what's going on Sunday, Dr. V?
We're live together.
That's right, baby. We're going to have a special from the Volpicellis out there in PA, rocking, eating, partying. We've just made a deal, that Dr. V and I, on something we're personally going to do together when we're out there. And it's just, look at him smiling. He's so excited. And that's what we're going to be doing then. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time with you guys. We hope to have some special guest stars. We have people threatening to be special guest stars, but many times they end up being wimps. So we'll find out. They've wimped out on us the last couple times. If they do, we will call them out. Hello, good talking with you, Dr. V. We're going today on Donald Trump, and we're going to talk about the different stuff that Donald Trump has done and see if we think he has done a good job, if we can give him a grade, or what you think on that. So I actually am going to try, because as you know, people have been saying we have to be a little bit more organized. I have a problem with organization. My middle name is not organization. It's like organized up there in my own way. You are really good, organized, data machine. Me, my data is everywhere, the notes are everywhere, and it's all like that up here. So I'm trying to be a little organized. I'm doing my best. If it doesn't work, if I lose it, I lose it. I'm sorry. Is Donald Trump doing a good job? I'm going to give him ratings. Let's look at the first thing, which I think is what everybody looks at, and I'm not talking immigration, economics. This is where Dr. V and I may disagree. However, let me tell you how I'm kind of looking at it right now. The economy's hanging in. It's not a bad economy. We don't seem to have a lot of layoffs. Inflation seems to be kind of under control. The numbers seem to be coming in okay. But let me hit you with some stuff, Dr. V, that people aren't really talking about, that's underneath, because I know I'm looking for it, but it just seems, you don't, it's just taking a lot longer to turn this ship. Thank you for the thumbs up. Economy. We were growing in the last quarter. Everybody said it was beautiful. It was 3%. The problem is, if you look at the last half, not the last quarter, we just grew 1.25%. which is well below the normal. And what's been happening is you're going to see a lot of changes going back and forth on these numbers, because some people have some countries have tariffs, others have this, just a lot of stuff going on in different kinds of companies. But growth has been cut in half over the two quarters from 2024 and to comparing it to these last two quarters here. Cut in half. Business spending is down. Over the last week or so, we've been told by Procter & Gamble, which is all the stuff you use, Hershey, candy and stuff, Home Goods, Amazon, they're all lifting prices. Cars are going up. Coffee is going to be going up big time now. I don't drink coffee, so it doesn't bother me. But Trump has put a 50% tariff on Brazil. Most of our coffee, I understand, comes from Brazil. And he's doing it because his buddy has been indicted there. So he doesn't like Brazil because he doesn't want his buddy to be indicted. So he's putting a 50% tariff on Brazil. So everybody here who drinks coffee is going to pay so much more. He signed today an order putting 50% tariff on copper. 50% we have on copper, aluminum, and steel. 25% tariff on India. Plus, he's going to hit him with Russia. I can understand that. So when you look at it, then housing stinks. So when you look at all this, it seems to me that economy-wise, he's not doing that great. And dropping the interest rates, the short-term interest rate, I don't think it's going to make any real difference. You do it, drop it a quarter. Feel free. Watch out, though, because we have to see where we're going. Look, remember this also, Dr. V, there are more numbers coming out tomorrow and Friday, employment and stuff like that, which we don't know about. Go ahead, Dr. V. I know you love Trump. You love Trump.
Picking the data.
He loves Trump.
What month is this?
He loves
What
Trump.
month is it? July, August?
He loves Trump. He just loves Trump, this guy.
I thought I remember somebody saying,
June.
You watch out.
I said
June
June.
and July,
Right.
inflation's going to go sky high.
Mm-hmm. That was me. Not yet.
4.7%.
But
You watch out. The economy's going to crash.
I didn't say the economy. I never used the word.
Doing fine.
I never used the word crash ever, ever, ever. Just like I said, I had nothing to do with the stock market when you were getting nervous. The stock market was dropping.
Some goods are up.
There's a lot of inflation. Let me ask you, gasoline's
a year ago, so that's down.
It's the same.
The best we can do is give the guy an incomplete, because we had expected that all the tariff situation lead to a lot of inflation, a lot of reciprocal tariffs, this and that. Amazingly, I say amazingly because I didn't expect this, he's not losing the tariff war. Apparently he's making some deals. Apparently he's bringing U.S. goods into different countries. It hasn't been terrible. It hasn't been terrible. Now, there's always the possibility of storm clouds on the horizon. That's true. But you know what? I've been hearing storm clouds for months and they haven't really materialized. So until something really happens, I think we have to give the guy an incomplete until we see what happens. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
True Gray. Good to see you. Thumbs up to True Gray.
Hey, True Gray.
Hey, True Gray. It's just that simple. Look. Inflation.
Do I make sense?
No. Inflation. No way. You never did. I mean, in your way you did, but ever since you pulled a Rosemary Woods on me, you get no credit for any of this. So let me get back. To the other on that. There's. Have you gone to the store? Have you gone to the grocery store recently? Let me ask you this.
Wait a second.
No, let me ask you this.
How do you measure inflation?
This is how I measure it. I go to the grocery store.
Doesn't once a month it comes in.
I go.
The inflation rate. It takes everything into account.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't cherry pick the coffee.
Wrong.
It takes everything
No,
together,
it doesn't.
And it gives you a number.
No, it doesn't. It takes numbers that are thrown at it by corporations that ask the questions. If they have enough people to ask the questions, the Fed Reserve people are out. They're all asking the companies, and they're trying to find out. Go to the grocery store. I go to the grocery store. I know people who go to the grocery store. Those are regular Americans. You go up and down those aisles. I know what milk costs. I know what eggs cost. I know what bread costs. I know what different cheeses cost. I buy this stuff. I know what this costs. Something, Joe. You go into these stores, and I'm not top of the line greatest stores. I'm talking good stores, but not like, whatever it is in New York. Or big time Philly stores. We go to our basic stores here, but they're good. The prices are crazy. And for people to be able to pay, you hear them talking about it. They're pushing the carts up and down, but I can't believe this, I can't believe that. That's what's starting to happen. And when you got to do that and you're having a problem paying those prices, and you go home and you have to pay your insurance, because insurance is going through the roof. We know that, right? Car insurance, property insurance, it's all going through the roof. That's going through the roof. If you got to fix your house, it costs you a lot of money, a lot more, because home goods are going up substantially. It's big there, and regular people are having issues. But I don't disagree it's incomplete. I just think that we're starting to get a little bit worse. I think he's begging the Fed chairman to bail him out. Okay, and you sit there, and now you hear Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, say, well, if on August 1st we don't have deals with everybody, don't worry about it. Even though new tariffs go in, we'll make it. It won't hurt anybody. And that's the problem. It's like building. I don't disagree that it's incomplete. I just think, thank you for the hearts, I just think it's getting worse and worse, slower and slower. Joe, to you. I'm giving you real world stuff. Go to you, Joe.
Well, first off, I don't know if you noticed, but our YouTube feed is all messed up.
I'm all right. I have no problem.
Oh, for me, it's coming in all blurry, but all right, maybe that's just my equipment.
I'm sorry. I'm looking great. You're looking great.
Looking great.
Everything. Okay.
everybody else seeing a good YouTube feed? It's so great.
Good.
I'm just saying, with respect to the economy, it hasn't gone downhill as we expected. And it's still incomplete. He may be able to pull off some things with the tariffs. I understand that there's storm clouds on the horizon, but so far we've been able to avoid the storm. So let's get the guy incomplete and see where we are in a month. But Mark, I do want to make this one point. You can't cherry pick the data. You have to pick a parameter, a number, and say, this is the number we're going to use to measure inflation. This is the number we're going to use to measure unemployment. This is the number we're going to use to measure GNP. And then have some objective data that we follow. And I don't care what numbers you pick, but just pick a number and let's follow it. You know, the other side likes to pull stuff out of their brain all the time. Let's us here.
Problem accepting the pores up so you can hear it again. Compared to 2024, the last 2 quarters, and these last 2 quarters, we are down 1.2. Our growth got cut in half, so it's 1.25% less than these same 2 quarters of last year. That's data. That's real. That's cut in half. That's a pretty major number. That's real. Coffee has gotten hit with 50%. That's data. Copper up 50%. I mean, not up the tariffs. 50%, that's data. Steel, 50%, that's data. Cars, 15%, that's data. It's all starting to hit right now.
What about gasoline?
The same. It stayed the same. It hasn't moved. Around here, no, it isn't. Not around here. It's been the same for the last 4 months, around $3 for regular.
But I believe we're going to see that it's less.
Will you check where? And where we are in the mid-Atlantic, it stay around 3. You feel for ChatGPT. You and I know we think about ChatGPT, which is very good. ChatGPT helps a lot. Okay, so on economy, Joe gives Trump an incomplete. I give Trump an incomplete, but I give it a C- incomplete because it's just kind of hanging in from the strength it had before. And to me, I just see more of this stuff going down. And when we're comparing the last year and the same, the underlying stuff just does not look that good. Business spending is down. They're not hiring more people. And Joe, if you heard, all these companies are saying now that for college graduates, it's hard to come jobs because AI can now do all the stuff that they used to do. You know, you don't have interns anymore. Let me give you a good example. That this has nothing to do with employment. I just think you need it for kids to come in and become part of a company. I think it's so important. There used to be something called the congressional pages in the House of Representatives. And you had kids who were running around, who were taking messages, who were hearing, seeing what was going on, and becoming a part of understanding Congress, understanding America, making them feel like Americans. They got rid of it. They still have it in the Senate, but they got rid of it in the House. How much money could it have cost? You're running kids through. They start understanding what it's like to be an American. They enjoy being an American. They love it. They meet people. They see what's going on. They see what's right. They see what's wrong, and they've cut it off, Joe. So this is the same type of a thing. This is what AI is going to do for kids. I call them kids. I know you and I look at them as kids, even though they aren't. If you're coming out, it's going to be really hard to get that first job because AI is going to be able to do that first job, and that's just going to be vicious. But I'm not blaming Trump. Trump's got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying what it looks like right now. So Joe, I'm with you on incomplete, but I got to give it a C- because I think it's just starting to smell bad. And I know I'm looking for the smell.
I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with that.
I know I'm looking for the smell. You have every right to call me out on it. I'm very straight. Our live streams are out there. You can see what we've been saying, but that's that. Okay. Let's now get into the next thing here. Immigration. People think he's doing a great job. He has shut down the border. Immigration. The president has shut down the border. Let's see Ralph here. Steady is so important. I agree with you, Ralph. You got to be steady. You can't be jumping numbers all over the place. He's shut down the border. But what he has done is he has built a private police force called ICE that he's put $170 billion into, and those people are out throwing Americans out of America. Joe, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one.
Okay, I mean, this is horrible. He's
being mean-spirited.
Yeah, you're nice. He's being a schmo. He's being they're horrible. They're breaking up families, but they're taking Americans and they're throwing Americans out of America. They're throwing Americans out of America. People go, hey, that's okay. Nobody's really talking about it. But think about this. They're throwing Americans out of America. How horrible is that? It is evil, Ralph. And these are people who have kids who've been growing up, going to school, becoming Americans themselves. These kids who are already Americans, learning, becoming. Now you're saying you're out of this country. You're throwing out Americans. You're not allowed to exercise your citizenship. You're not allowed to be in America. As far as I'm concerned, the Trump immigration program is an F minus. Yeah, he's closed the border, but it goes no further than that. When you are focused on throwing out people and you don't care if they're Americans, you don't care that they're American citizens, then you get an F. I'm sorry. If you flunk, not a president who cares about his country. I don't know what he cares about when he's willing to throw out U.S. citizens. Do it, Joe.
Well, I think we agree on the general point that closing the border, I don't disagree with that. That's not a terrible idea. But the way he's doing it is pretty terrible. That, there's a mean-spiritedness about it, that he's creating a us versus them mentality. He says he's a Christian, but he doesn't act like a Christian. He doesn't open his heart up to people who are in need. He throws out people who are, as you pointed out, actual U.S. citizens, which he uses due process. Yeah, the evolution on that, and I don't understand why he is acting so mean to a certain group of people, and he really points out that this is a group of people going after. He's not against immigration in total. If you're from a white person from South Africa, come on in. If you're Eastern European, come on in. But if you're from South America or Mexico, stay away. I don't understand where that prejudice comes from, and I don't know if I would quite give him an F, but he doesn't represent I believe the feeling of this country, which is based on welcoming people legally. I think the problem is that there's no legal path that's easy to access. And that's why people come in illegally, and then you can say, well, they shouldn't be here illegally, but there should be a path for people to come in legally. And if he was to moderate his position on that, then he could get a higher grade, but you can't cut off legal access to coming into the country and then going after people aggressively who came undocumented, throwing them out of the country when they already have a life.
That's why
They're meaningful to other people. You're not just hurting the immigrant that you're sending back, but you're hurting the people around that immigrant who love them.
That's why it doesn't matter, Joe. But that's why it doesn't matter about letting people. We don't need to let anybody else in right now. We have a lot of people here that we should be dealing with and giving a chance to be citizens. We don't have to worry about it. I mean, people want to come in legally, fine. I'm not worried about that. My feeling, we got plenty of people here that we're not dealing with, that we're not dealing straight with. We got plenty of people here who've got kids who are Americans.
That should be the first.
That's where it is, right?
People who are currently
right, and who are currently here and who are paying taxes and are paying Social Security and have kids and have American kids and should become, at least have a green card at a minimum and become citizens because they have been paying in, working, becoming hardworking citizens and getting no welfare from America. Rather, they've been putting the money in. That's the people we should be dealing with. The DACA people, I hate to can't call them kids anymore, but the DACAs have to be taken care of. All these people, that's who we should be dealing with. The people who have been in line to be citizens. Let's get it moving. You know what I really love about this, Joe? Is I'm hearing these people going, they should make it tougher. The citizenship test should be tougher. Who are you kidding? Let me tell you something. They put these people on TV and they start asking them questions like, who was the first president? Who do we fight in World War II? And they got no idea. They even know we had a civil war, and they think that we should make it even harder for people to take the citizenship test. Most Americans would flunk the citizenship test. So I wouldn't make it any harder for people who are already here. It's a pretty hard test as it is, and I'd love to hear those who think they should make it harder. I'd like to see if they could pass the test. I really question that too. I'd love to see that. Now let's get to this. Another reason why we can't walk away from in the Donald Trump milieu is Jeffrey Epstein. We can't get away from Jeffrey Epstein because this is a total blowout by Trump. He has totally blown this, Joe. But we've been saying it. You call it the drip, drip, drip. Trump is involved in a cover-up. There's no other way to put it. He's covering up what went on with Epstein. We have no idea why. He's got to know what's in those files. His attorney general does anything she wants him to do. The super right wing call her Blondie, not Pam Bondi, Pam Blondie. I mean, it's like crazy there. But you're listening, you're watching. Who's there for Epstein? Why is he covering up now? He says that Epstein stole his employees. I didn't know you could steal other people's employees. I didn't.
How old was this employee?
She was like 16 or something. But you know,
16?
Yeah. But it was not only that. It was Ghislaine who did it, and then she went and got a hold of her and brought her in to have a good time to teach her how to do things. Okay, so he stole, but let me tell you. But he said he did it in the year 2000, and he stopped talking to Epstein then when Epstein was stealing from him. But then they have him quoted in 2002, calling him the greatest friend of all time, and that he loves women like Trump loves women. And then you have him in 2004 or something with this birthday thing. The man lies like crazy on this. Why is he consistently lying? What's Trump afraid of? What's everybody afraid of? There's something there. This is a massive cover-up. And how does that make it a good president? He's a flunker here, too. I don't know what he's doing that's good, Joe. You know, you said he won the trade war. They didn't win no trade war. So what? We took our hammer, we banged on people, and we're bigger than you are. And if you want us to stay as your defense or your friend, you're going to make a deal with us. So he breaks up the alliances that we have, makes it look like, oh, our alliances are looking good. I'm happy NATO's throwing more money in for defense. But still, who likes us anymore? Nobody. So winning a trade war, and remember this also, these are not trade deals. Let's talk technically. It's an agreement that he has a handshake with on the other side. That could be broken tomorrow. That's not a trade deal. A trade deal is something you sit down, you negotiate. If this happens, that happens. If that happens, this happens, right? This is, you're going to put in $500 million here, you're going to do that. Europe said they're going to give, or he says, Europe's going to buy $750 billion of energy from us. Impossible. They don't use that much over gosh knows how long, and we don't have it to get it to them right now. So it's like not the same. How about you saw SoftBank? They were going to put like $500 billion into America or $300 billion along with OpenAI. Now they don't have the money to do it. Nobody can do it. So it's all a handshake. It's all a joke. Joe, you fall for it. You're falling for it, Joe. I'm not letting you fall for it, Joe. I'm not letting you do it. Joe, I'm here for you, Joe. I'm not letting you fall for it. Go ahead.
And so were we talking about Epstein or the...
Both. It was Epstein and how he didn't win the trade war.
Epstein.
Yeah, go ahead.
First we said that we want to know, what did he know, when did he know it?
Correct.
And it seems like he's covering something up. I mean, all the evidence seems to point in that direction, and so that's very suspicious. That's number one, that he appears to be engaged in a cover-up. But I think even more important than that is how people are reacting to this. And I think there's something significant going on, and that people who did vote for him and supported him put him in there to uncover the swamp, to do something about it. And what they're finding is he's part of the swamp. And I think that the reason why this issue is not going away is that people are really disillusioned with the guy. It's like all of a sudden you wake up one time and you say, oh my God, this is the guy I married. And it's like, holy smoke, he's a monster. And so it's people are seeing clearly, maybe for the first time, what this guy's all about. He's not for you. He's not for working class people. He's not for draining the swamp. He's in it for himself. And other people have seen that earlier, but now the people who voted for him are beginning to see it. And so I'm noticing that there's cracks in his support. And you can see it with Joe Rogan and some of the things he's saying. He's lost some enthusiasm there. You can see it in some of the other podcasters that were pro-Trump earlier. They're beginning to lose faith in him. Hell, even the shaman wrote on was X that he's given up on the guy. And even in Congress, I think Grassley said something today about, what Trump said was nasty to me. This is not going to be acceptable. And so you can begin to see cracks in his support. And I think with everything that he's done, where he's bullied people to comply, and that's true in the trade wars, but it's also true with the universities, it's true with the media, it's true with the legal profession. He's gotten people to comply with him, but he's done it at a cost. And that cost is he's gotten people really angry. And I think as these cracks reveal themselves, that all these people who are angry with him, who notice that he's not quite as powerful as he used to be, they're going to come after him with a vengeance.
I don't agree.
I think we can see a fundamental change in terms of the support that he has in this country.
Never happened. I love you. They're going to go after his people around him, and he will blame those people because he always lands on his feet. So it'll be, and he's going to keep doing this, Joe. Joe,
coming home to roost this time.
What's the roost?
Should be it.
Well, I'm happy you feel that way. You have every right to feel that way. This isn't enough to take him down. It's enough to take down people around him. It's enough to get a lot of people to start pointing, like you got Hegseth talking about running for Senate now in Tennessee. So now maybe he'll get a more competent Secretary of Defense. He's doing stuff like this. And you watch, keep this in mind, Joe. You got a president. I'm going to shift it a little bit. Remember Texas got wiped out by all these floods and they got all the money from Trump. And now all of a sudden Trump says to them, well, now we want you to break up into more districts so you have more Republican leaning districts. I'll give you all this money. They're going to say it wasn't one for one, but I kind of wonder, right? They also have National Guard down there helping Trump. We'll give you all this money. Trump ain't giving money to these other states. I'll give you all this money. I'll take care of you. You break up into 5 additional Republican-dominated congressional districts, and at that point, we have a 1-for-1. That's the kind of stuff that's going on. It's an F, Joe. He isn't an American president. He's a Texas president. He's a MAGA president. That's why he's not going to lose this kind of support, because these people support him. And they're going to say it was the people around him who gave him the bad advice, or the people around him who told him to do this or told him to do that, because he always has that. That's just Donald Trump. Now, you may be right, and it sure wouldn't bother me if you are correct. So please don't misunderstand. But I just don't see Jeffrey Epstein bringing them down. I think it hurts their congressional votes. That's exactly why they're trying to do this in Texas. So now you got the Democrats trying to do it in California and New York. What a joke. An absolute joke.
Well, the history is he has been able to sidestep responsibility for every issue in the past. He's had somebody bail him out. Either his daddy bailed him out or some Russian oligarch bailed him out. He's always had someone bail him out to take responsibility where he didn't have to accept responsibility. But I think, and I'm going on record as saying this, that this one's different. This one is fundamentally different. That he has exposed himself and people are seeing him clearly for the first time, and they're not happy that they supported someone who is not what he represents himself to be.
Okay.
And the other thing is, we're getting closer to 2026. With the 2026 election, that makes him a lame duck after that. And there's a fair chance he won't have a majority in the House, possibly the Senate. And if he doesn't have a majority in the House, there's going to be tons of congressional investigations of this and that. His ability to pass legislation is going to be dramatically curtailed. So this was his big shot this year, and he passed a big, beautiful bill, and we can get to that, what we think of that. But I think this was his big shot to do something, and we're going to find that going forward, there's just going to be a steady erosion of his popularity. And at some point, I think people are going to just completely turn on him.
Okay, Joe, I'm with you, but if that happens, you are a genius because it ain't happening. I'll tell you this: I don't think it's that easy about winning Congress. I told you what's going on in Texas. They're going to break Texas up into like 3 or 4 more or 5 more Republican leading districts. They're doing whatever they can to maintain control of the House. And they may pull it off because they've been playing this kind of stuff, and the Supreme Court lets them get away with everything. The Supreme Court is in the back pocket of Trump and has been for years. And remember Trump coming down to the State of the Union, thanking their Chief Justice. Thank you, wonder why. So you have all this going on because he knows he loves the decisions he's going to get. Thanks for the immunity. And then Trump gets to do this kind of stuff. You don't get it. I just don't see it happening, Joe. I see everybody taking the hit for Trump, and they may hold on in the House. Keep in mind, the Senate is very strong for the 2026.
The Senate will be tough to turn around.
That's
the
right.
House, I think, is lost. I don't think he's going to keep the House.
It depends on Texas, and you're going to have to see.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
I don't know.
Let me put it to you this way. At
He's
2 in the morning, let me tell you about Joe.
Who voted for him, voting Republican, but I'm not sure you can count on that when he's not on the ballot.
You can't. But at the same time, he can make it very tough to have a sweep. And that's what they're doing. You can't write it off right now. That's hubris to already think you can lose. You can't. You have to assume you're going in losing because you can see how he's fixing everything. You can see how he's got an attorney general who will do everything she can to say the votes here are bad or the votes there are bad in the blue states, or this is going to happen or that's going to happen to try to change the votes. You know that's going to happen. So when you see all this coming down the pike, you just can't assume it's a normal election in 2026 that things are going to just start rolling. They aren't, because there's fixes in everywhere, and they're just playing it and doing everything they can to fix it. It's that simple. There's no getting away from it. Okay? But you may be right. I just don't see people imploding on this guy. They just won't. He's making too much money. He's not going
to get the same turnout that you had in the general.
But that always happens. That's got nothing, Joe.
Someone's going to swing or Democrat.
That doesn't mean
already pretty much a 50-50 situation. So I think the Democrats have a really good, strong chance to win. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on the Democrats.
You're changing the subject. The issue was, are they going to turn on Trump? That's the issue you were talking about.
Yes.
That's a totally different issue.
They turn on Trump until the Democrats take control of the House.
Cool. I'm talking about Trump. There's no way they're turning on Trump. You'll get a couple people who do it. They'll disagree with them. They'll do it in their mind with respect. They'll say it's the other people who are on them. They shouldn't be listening to these people. And that's where Trump's problem is. And that's what's going to happen.
We have someone in the chat who's making the exact point that I'm making.
I don't see anything here.
Saying that he gave him a chance and he effed it up. And that's how a lot of people feel right now. And Jeremiah, I think you're an example of someone who's going to say, I'm not going to support this guy anymore. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
I hope you're right, Joe, because I'm not seeing the comments. So my last comments were from Ralph Perry a while ago. So I'm just not seeing it. I apologize. Jeremiah, I hope that's right, and I'm with it. Joe, I hope you're right. I'd be the happiest guy in the world if you are. I just think it's too easy. I don't see it happening. It could happen, though. It could. I hope it does. And it also is going to depend on who the candidates are that are going to be out there for the Democrats.
The Epstein thing is is fundamentally different than any other crisis he's been in before.
So,
And this is really going to have a profound effect in terms of the presidency going forward, I believe. And if we're giving him a grade in terms of how well he's handled it, you'd have to say this is an F by any admission that he can't get rid of it. It's like he walked in crap and it's on his shoe and there's no way he can wipe it off. And he's normally fantastic at controlling the media, controlling the what's the big story of the news every night, and he hasn't been able to do it here. It keeps following him around.
because there's nothing to control. It's the drip, drip, drip. He should just put it out there, and there it is. And then there's no more, here it is. This is Watergate. I've been yelling that for a while, not criminally, but it's the drip, drip, drip. But he can control it. Put it out there. If it's out there, it's controlled, right, Joe? Then everybody can read what they want. They can make up their own mind and see what it is. But until then,
it appears as if he's hiding something.
it sure does, and we are in a total agreement on that. But he can totally control it. It'd be a no-brainer controlling it. He tells Pam Bondi, put it out there. Game over. Redact names, so he can control it.
That's why they voted for him, to put it out there.
As they sure did. But he could do it, and he's not doing it. But it'll be Pam Bondi's fault, and she'll disappear. And it'll be this one's fault, and he'll disappear, and somebody else's fault because he's great at it. I'm not worried about it.
Daniel Sam thinks he's gaining support, not losing support.
Maybe, but not.
And I'm interested in what your data is to support that argument. I don't see it in his presidential approval rate.
All the polls, Joe, are showing in immigration that the Republicans, he's not doing that good with the Republicans, so it's still a majority for him, that, on Epstein, that the independents are major against him, and the Democrats are major, which is a majority of the people. And that's where he's got a problem. He's got his MAGA. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got his MAGA group. That's been my point. He's got his MAGA group. He isn't going to lose them, so they're not all going to turn on him. He's not going to lose them. It's going to go over to somebody else who's going to take the, and it's going to be over, and they're going to be there. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, Joe. But I'm not saying what I could be wrong. But it's always somebody else, and he'll land on his feet. So
I'm curious with Samuel Sam in there. What do you like about what Trump has done so far? Maybe you can let us know. Are you happy with the border? Are you happy with the economy? What sorts of things are you happy with that he's doing? I'm curious.
I'm waiting to know. And when he tells you, Joe, because I don't see it there, I only see Ralph and those guys. You'll let me know. But while we're doing it, I want to point something out that while we're still going backwards, tariffs, this is kind of like, the old days, selling people. It's called Devo, great album, great music, but we've been de-evolution. But at the same time, there's some really good music that came out a while ago that we saw when the group was first put together, a really good group, not great, but just chugs along, played rock and roll, and they just, excellent, great. There was a group called Savoy Brown. They had some really good music. I took one of their albums out and showed it to everybody. We had one big song on there. It was, what was it? Something Hellbound Train, Savoy Brown. This group broke off Savoy Brown. The group is called Foghat. Whoops, there you go. Foghat. Joe and I saw them right after they got together. If you read the review in the Dickinsonian, the guy hated them. He must have had too much wax in his ears. Nils Lofgren opened up for Foghat. Then Foghat came out. Some great music on Foghat. On this song was I Just Want to Make Love to You. This is their self-entitled album. Self-titled, excellent. Then their second album was self-titled, but it had its own name that we all gave it based on the front. What would you call this album, Joe, even though it was self-titled?
I can't say that. I can only see the back. Here we go. Okay.
What do you say, Joe?
Well, Biscuit and Rock?
Pretty close. Rock and Roll.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, even though it was self-titled.
Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll. So we called it the Rock and Roll album. On this one, we had It's Too Late, which was a really good song. Long Way to Go. Maker's Stay, and then you guys know him for other stuff like Slow Ride. That comes off the Fool for the City album. Fool for the City. Those are a couple albums after these albums. Foghat. Get Foghat's greatest hits. Listen to it. It's just straight ahead, chunkin', bluesy rock. Just chunk, 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 chunk. Excellent guitar work. A lot of fun. Nothing super wild. Just you party out, you crank it up, and you go crazy. And guys, when I tell you about this stuff, remember, this was our social media. There were messages in between albums sent to people. You'd hear an album, I'd hear they talk about this, whether it was the war, whether it was civil rights, whether it was the girls, it didn't matter. There was always messages going out because we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have any of this. We had three TV stations, and a UHF station, a couple FM stations, a lot of AM stations. This is where it was. It was music, and it talked to us. So that a super smart, data-driven guy who doesn't listen to my data, like Dr. V, will listen to the same music that I will, because it doesn't have to be data. It just cooks. It just drives. It talks to you. Music. You don't have to look at music. You hear music. I watch people go to concerts. They got their phones up. I'm going, are you listening or are you just videoing? Because whenever you video, it ain't going to look that good and it ain't going to sound that good. But I remember some of my concerts and I remember seeing them, and that's why it's great music. It's the greatest thing in the world, I think. No videos. Do it. Crank it up. Turn it on and go for it. Joe, do you have any other thoughts? It's a nice summer night. I'm ready for dinner. I know you are. We're getting ready to come up and see you on Sunday. I'm telling you, we're going to have people just rocking. It's going to be a lot of fun. Special show. And I felt very disorganized today because I was so organized. I don't know how to be organized. I really tried, and I'm like going through my organization. I'm going, what did I say? I don't know. It's too organized. I'll probably get a big review today, Joe. I have no idea, but I don't hate being organized. The next one, I'm back to being Mark. I guarantee it to you. Joe, you got any thoughts?
No, just come back on Sunday and we're going to hit it again.
And you're going to see it. Look, Joe's calling for Epstein to take Trump down. So today, today we had a major prediction from Dr. V that Epstein is taking Trump down. I'm not taking a position. Well, I already did. But there it is. And I say, wow, he's stepping up. Dr. V has said he's had it. He said he's no more just being nice. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He says he's coming out and he's stepping out. Epstein is taking down Trump. Is that correct?
That's
oh my Lord, that's
Democrats win the House in the midterms.
Okay, well that's people could call that's not as important. That the big prediction is Epstein, I want to hear it again, is taking down Trump, because when we go into our Substack, because I'm going to be waiting for Joe to lay this on me, you see our Substack address there.
Do you have any subscribers on that?
Not many, but I've been working on it. I got a lot. We got over 5,000 here, though, Joe. When we go to that Substack, when this article goes up, and you guys start seeing, we're gonna talk about Dr. V says that Jeff Epstein is taking down Donald Trump. I love it. I'm ready, babe. I am ready. This is it. Isn't there a song called "This Is It"? Wasn't there a song something like that? Music's just going through my head. I can't stop it. It's just kind of blowing through. You know why? Because I can't wait to see him. Now, we may be a little bit late on Sunday. I'm not going to be here next Wednesday, we'll tell you. But I'm going to try to be there because I got a long drive to his house. And he has to have some food ready for me because I'll come in crawling in.
What do you want, chicken?
Not too early. Just a little bit of diet. Just a little. I love quail and I love pheasant. You don't understand.
What do you want? Do you want some bagels when you come up?
Yeah, just make sure you have a little Diet Coke cold for me.
Cold Diet Coke.
If it's caffeine free, we're rocking too. I like that even better.
Caffeine free.
If possible, I don't need the caffeine. I can just go against the wall without caffeine. And whatever looks and whatever looks good, you know me. I'm a big drinker. I drink it straight sometimes.
Like a brunch or.
Well, I'm just saying with the Diet Coke, I either drink it straight or I drink it with soda. Either way, I mean with ice. Either way goes right to my head, Joe. You got to watch out when I drink Diet Coke. I get a little crazy.
It gets you all energized.
Get all worked up like the kids. I don't have the sugar. I get the Diet Coke charge. It's like, woo! So you got to keep the caffeine out of me. I go too crazy. Either way, we're all psyched. It's going to be fun Sunday. Thanks for coming in.
Spartacus just joined. Oh my goodness.
Joe, we love you, Spartacus. We're going to be missing. I love Spartacus. Please check out Just an American Citizen. Subscribe, like us, whatever. Please like Dr. V. Joe Talks. We're there. We're going to be back Sunday at 11, maybe a little bit later, but hang in at 11 a.m. for our big show. It may be some guest stars. We're crazy. I'm not going to be organized. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to be all over this guy because I can't wait to see him. My pledge, brother. I am so psyched. We're going to be there on Sunday. And if you're square, we ain't going to be there. But that's the way it is.
Period.
And we'll see you Sunday. Special show.